Who is the master of your life and your destiny? You ego or your true nature? That is a deep question you need to ask yourself on a daily basis. Who is running the show? Who is running your life? A beloved one lately sent a question, Devi Ma, how did you accomplish this surrender, get better at surrendering? I think that was the question, and expressing his concern and difficulty and his resistance of letting go. So, beloved, surrendering always involves allowing your ego to move out of the way. So let's look at, fundamentally, is your ego really ruining your life like most people allow their ego personality, what we call asmita? Ego personality, when you look at it in depth, is just an accumulation. It's karma, it's a memory, it's conditioning, brainwashing, accumulation. All asmita from Sanskrit are ego identification. And like, for instance, believing that you're a gender, like a male or a female, or your profession, your socio-economic background, your ethnicity, your religious background. That is a big one. Believe I am Hindu, I am Christian, I am Muslim, believing that's who you are. So ego identification will always lead you to pain and suffering in the long term, because it's tamasic in some way, tamasic based on the principle of inertia. Is like, in a long run, if you allowed your ego identification to run your show, it will definitely lead to some misery and some conflicts, because ego never wants to let go, beloved. It's hard for ego to let go. Ego will defend, will fight, will judge, will compete. It will never go to its own memorial. And so, but again, let's look at first, what is ego? Because people are confused about it, and it's understandable. Ego is just a sense of I amness to serve your survival, because without ego you can't stay in the body temple. Everyone has a sense of I amness for survival, and it's been said by so many ascended masters that without ego, it's true, you can't stay in the physical body, because there's no memory, there's no karma that hold you there in the physical body. So ego is not bad or wrong. So let's not place any judgment, because if you start doing that, you're only creating more karma. And karma is just a memory. And so that's why personality comes with ego. Ego comes with personality. Where the danger comes is when ego becomes solidified in a very strong personality, very strong, like believing this is who I am, all the characteristic of what you have been brainwashed and conditioned for so many lifetimes. Like what we just talked about, those ego identification. And so ego is just there to help you survive, to stay in the physical body. So like Devi Ma says, no need to trash it or ban it. If I look back, my own memorial of my own ego, so to speak, because like I said, that very strong personality, believing this is who you are, that personality. For this one, it happened when I had advanced breast cancer. It was several decades ago now, and it was very advanced, and some of you have read Becoming the Light, Realize Your True Enlightened Nature. The whole story is there. It was going through the chemotherapy. I won't go into the whole story because it was a long, powerful journey of spiritual ascension. It was so phenomenal. But I used to have long, beautiful blonde hair, and the thought of losing my hair was so devastating. I was tormented by it, and not for a long time, because I was able to surrender very easily, and I will get there. But I knew I had to go through so many intense treatment, and because it was very advanced already, metastasized in my lymph node, it was advanced stage 3. I was alone at home, and I was washing my face, and suddenly I had the realization that I knew, because I had accepted to do those treatments, and I knew I was going to lose all my hair. And I just sob and scream, and I reach out to the divine, and I crawl to the ground, and I was sobbing, and I said, Divine Mother, because for Devi is Divine Mother, the ultimate reality, God, the Creator. And I just collapsed on the ground, and I felt this burning sensation. In the yogic tradition, there's a certain term for that. My fire, my agni were so activated, and I knew that losing my hair was going to be very significant. Not in this moment. Later on, I realized that. But what I didn't realize, it was maybe a little through the journey, it was losing a sense of ego identification, of the gender, of femininity. Because hair for women is such a very important aspect of our femininity. And it was beyond word what occurred with this one. And so how to go deeper into surrender, in my experience, is as a tool. If you have a deep longing to know for the truth, a deep longing that is aching, longing, that's why it's called longing, because it's long, 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 is this deep, how can you put this into words? It's deep, loving, burning of wanting to merge with the divine and experience your true nature, if I may say, into those words, that longing. So if you use your longing with devotion as a tool, longing as a tool, longing, what we call rade. And this devotion, it could be devotion for a divine person, for your spiritual master, for a deity, for the absolute supreme truth, for God, whatever name that we put on what is the meaning of the supreme intelligence. And or for your own inner guru, when you have had a glimpse of that, your own divinity, your own true nature, if you can, or surrender into your guru. And so if you do have that longing, that devotion, use it as a tool. And this is how Devi Ma did. And what I mean, because surrendering for ego is to push it out of the way and to really bow down, and if bow down physically. Practice that. It is a practice. Devi Ma says it's practice, practice, practice. And if you cannot bow down with longing as a tool and with devotion to any of the things I have mentioned, bow down and just surrender to this moment, to this present moment. It's a practice. And what I have realized and accomplished, and even when I look back at in this entire lifetime, is abandoning yourself requires faith. But if you don't have that longing and that devotion and use it as a tool, you'll find it very difficult. So look at your life very carefully, and also what I meant to say, empower yourself with mindful tools, mindful practices to really look at your life on a moment, day to day. Who is running the show? Is it my ego identification, or is it my true nature? I'm really in touch with my true nature and allow it. And that requires a deep awareness, deep mindfulness, and especially humbleness. Most people are not conscious of their thoughts and their words and their action, and it's hard for them to surrender. Just the thought of it here in America, it's been viewed as submissive, but we won't go into this whole subject right now. Watch the video on shreedevimayima channel. We did a video on that of what is surrender and how to surrender. But this satsang now is about ego. So ego, it serves a purpose. Everyone has one. The question is it solidified in a strong personality and you believe that is who you are, body and mind and personality. And that's where the danger comes. And the greatest danger is that you allowed this personality. Because if you look at, it's all conditioning. Let's look at some example, because it's all based on karma. And in the karmic structure, we have the samskara. We have talked about that before, which are impression in the subtle body and in the physical body, of memory, vasana, because the samskara become vasana tendency. So that forms your karmic structure. So let's give an example. Let's say you have a lot of low self-esteem, feeling you're not worth it. You grew up in a dysfunctional family. You were maybe verbally abused, sexually abused, physically abused, and either by one of your parents or a grandparent. All of this is, if you have repressed it, especially if you as a child, is conditioning. You will have the samskar of that, samskar of low self-esteem, or samskar of a certain mind pattern that you're not good enough, you will never be good enough. It might not be conscious, it might not be, it's very deep into the subconscious mind. It's not to your consciousness. That's why sadhana is so important, because to make the space from the mind and ego and get rid of the karmic structure of a good amount in this lifetime, sadhana is a must, especially Kriya Yoga. And we will do more video on that. One that is coming out very soon is radiating the light. Make sure not to miss this one. It will be how, through the eye of the yogic tradition, what is the one tool that will transform your life? And that video will come out soon. We'll go more in depth on this, on Kriya and how to get rid of so much karmic load that what really forms that ego, and start running the show. So ask yourself that question, beloved. Who is the master of yourself, your life, and your destiny? Are you allowing you, ego? Or is it you, beloved, your true divinity at the very core of your true nature, who is humble and in a state of abandoning, that you empower yourself and transform yourself that way? So those are the questions that you need to ask yourself to become aware, and you use that tool of longing and devotion and a full deep mindfulness and awareness of how you're empowering yourself on a daily basis, and who is running your life and your destiny. By the way, there is a video also on how empowering yourself to experience joy on a daily basis, because you are ultimately, you have the inner power. Your true nature has the inner power, and you got the magical one. Devi Ma talks so often about how to use higher vibration through your thoughts, your volition, your action and your words and your emotion, and how it has an effect on your energy. But we'll elaborate more in the coming video on what is the one practice that would transform your life and yourself. So just allow your divine presence and your true nature to be the master, to go back to your own inner guru.